Igbo marginalization? Is it a reality or a myth? This conversation is long overdue. As a people, so many times, including myself, I've often made this statement, Igbo are marginalized. Yeah, I'm sure almost every Igbo person has. But today, from this conference, we are going to discuss both those for and those against. We are going to discuss if Igbo are being marginalized. But before we dive into this topic, I want you to look at the ethnic map of Nigeria. How many ethnic groups are in Nigeria? We have the Effiks, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and hundreds of other ethnic groups. Many are in majority and others in minority. If you follow the trajectory of Nigeria since the 1960s, political power has actually rotated only between the top 10. And unfortunately, during the another of the ethnic minority per se, which is the Igbos, had to handle the political power in Nigeria. So the question remains, looking at Nigeria of 1960 to date, not just looking at Nigeria of 1999 for this present democracy, have fully will be truly marginalized. And we are going to do this talking from the economic viewpoint and from the political viewpoint. So looking at the economically, the Igbo are one of the people that have been truly blessed economically by Nigeria. The Igbo man is the person that has business in almost every village in Nigeria, whether in the north, whether in the south, whether in the west, and here in the east. So which means economically we have not really been marginalized. Why? Because, so to say, we have been allowed to carry out our business, our economic activity in every nook and cranny of Nigeria. Now let's look at it politically. Are we really marginalized politically? But before we answer that question, we must look at other ethnic groups. Since Nigeria came into democracy in 1999, only two major ethnic groups out of the hundreds of ethnic groups in Nigeria have actually held power. And maybe the Jaws, two good of Jonathan, which are only three ethnic groups. So I have often said that while Igbo also needs to contest and be the president of Nigeria, why an Igbo man has to be, or an Igbo woman has to also contest and win the presidency of Nigeria. I have often argued that that shouldn't be our main focus. And that shouldn't be the reason why we are saying that we are marginalized. Because if you look at it, the ethnic, the video, the Anas, and all these other ethnic groups in Nigeria, I heard somebody say that the real houses of the north, none of them have been president of Nigeria. It has always been the Fulanis that have been presidents in Nigeria. The real houses who are 100% Nigerians, not the Fulanis that migrated during the Usman Bafodio War. The real houses have not held any presidential position in Nigeria. The question remains, are Igbo really marginalized? I feel that it is very, very important as an Igbo person for you to remove any bias of your mind while looking at this topic of conversation. I personally have done business in Nigeria. I lived in Abuja for 13 or 38 years of my life. And there is no place in Nigeria that I've entered to do business and they say, no, we don't allow people to be here. People own almost 40% of Abuja as an ethnic group. People own almost 40% of Lagos as an ethnic group, which means that they are allowed to buy property, they are allowed to own property everywhere in Nigeria, especially in the heart of the West, which is Lagos, and the heart of the North, which is Abuja. But every day we cry for marginalization. And unfortunately, homegrown terrorists have leveraged on this to cause confusion and to further divide the people. So, looking at this from my own point of view, economically, Igbo are not being marginalized in Nigeria. Politically, power is not handed over. You might not like President Tinubu, but people have often said that power is fought for. People fight for power, people get power. Nobody is going to hand over power to anybody. You see the way our brother went out in 2023 and how he performed. 2027 is around the corner again. If we all rally around him and sell him to other Nigerians, who knows, he might become the first Igbo president since democracy reform in Nigeria. So to summarize this conversation from my own point of view, I don't think Igbo have been marginalized in Nigeria, whether economically or politically. What we have not done is arrange ourselves well politically. Take a look at Southeast politicians. Are they really united? Whenever there is an important election, that election is thrown, that is the time of the North. The North will always organize itself in such a way that their strongest person is going to be the one that they are looking for. But when it comes to the time of the South, just the way it is right now, the internal backbiting and division among Igbo politicians. Let's not even talk about their political division. Let's even talk about under Jonathan, Igbo held 80% of the most juiciest ministerial positions in Nigeria. And Igbo man was secretary governor, and Igbo man was the minister of education. Igbo people had all the juicy positions under the other one. But guess what? The Southeast doesn't have an international airport. But we have often ignored our politicians. All we do every time is cry that the Hausa are marginalized, the Yorubas are doing this. I think it is time we come off this mindset. So it is my wish that this conversation today, every of these people out there, is going to open your mind and see how blessed we are to be in Nigeria. And to understand that Nigeria is our market. We can be arranged under what I call Maina, make Aluzo great again. We can be arranged and make the Southeast the economic hub of Nigeria. Today, Chinese and the rest of them are beginning to set up their factories in Nigeria. Indeed, we have about 20 years to be arranged and go into production. But the majority of our people didn't go into production because of we always like what I call the Igbo or container economy. Into something that we can make sharp and sell and profit. Today, Nigeria is moving from consumption or from distribution to production. We can also what that notice do. This is time for people to wake up and smell the coffee. Nobody is going to come to us. Our politicians must be held accountable. Hold your department chairman accountable. Hold your state government accountable. Hold every Igbo politician accountable. If there is anyone marginalizing people, our politicians, and not the people of the West nor of the South. It is time to come to the bargaining table as a people to bargain instead of always playing victim, instead of always crying. No every group in Nigeria has had it fair. Every group has been marginalized in one way or the other. If you can't even say of the West and the South, at least you can talk of other minority ethnic groups in Nigeria. So it is time for us to stop complaining and start getting involved. Young people of the Southeast must come out, register, get their PVC, and pick their leaders, and also vote in the presidential election. So I summarize by saying, truly, Igbo are not marginalized in Nigeria. The marginalization has just been more difficult. I have always shared the story of a horse tied to a plastic chair. And when the person stood up from the plastic chair, the horse didn't struggle to move. It stayed there until it died. Why? Because it believed that the weight was still on the chair. This is what has happened to us since 1967 after the Nigerian Biafran. So it is time for us as a people to rise up, clean up ourselves, and realize that we are part and parcel of Nigeria. We are not going into anytime soon. So the earlier we wake up and demand for what is due to us, that our politicians have been received. The name of our politicians, they live in Lagos until the election comes, and then they move to the South, win the election, and after that they go back to where they come from. So it is time for you, as a young Igbo person, to wake up. You are not being marginalized. Wake up and smell the coffee and hold your political leaders accountable. Thank you so much for attending this conference. My name is Chief Gaius, Chibueze, aka Akoma Nebusu. It was a pleasure having you.